2 years ago, we harvested wood on our land for a project for one of our customers. Not only did we fell the trees, but we milled the wood, every last bit of it, with the exception of some pressure-treated lumber. And then we began working on the horse shed for our customer. As you can see, this was more than a horse shed. This was a 3-stall horse barn with an attached tack room. It was beautiful, 20 by 40. We worked on it for the majority of the winter, but when it was done, it was beautiful. Beautiful until yes, that's no joke. That is the beautiful horse barn, completely lifted up, flipped over onto its side and onto its roof. The whole entire thing. This is where it used to be. And this is where it is. It picked the whole thing up and moved it back 3 feet. Nothing was broken, not a thing. However, the horses need shelter. It's the middle of winter. They can't stay out in the open. They need shelter. What are we going to do? Jesse tried to flip it with the excavator, but it was too big. It just wasn't going to happen. So he had to cut it in pieces. All of that hard work for nothing. You can't even imagine the feeling. Because he had to cut it, there were only 2 walls. The only option, unfortunately, was to drag it on its roof down into the spot for the temporary shelter. Of course, ruining the roof as we go. You might wonder why we didn't just wait for the insurance company to come out. Unfortunately, this storm caused havoc and devastation all across our state of Maine. So many places were under feet of water. This was a horrific storm. There was no way the insurance companies were going to get out in time so that these horses could have shelter. So now what? The 2-walled, unstable building is dragged into the pasture in the area that we can keep it for a temporary basis. Okay, now what? This thing is heavy. Jesse, be careful. Oh, this is what makes me a praying woman. No. Keep in mind, the horses are still in the pasture because that's where they live, and we're having to work with the fence down and trying to keep them on the right side of the fence. Jesse's trying to tip it from that back corner and tip it towards the other side where he wants it to land safely. However, all it's doing is pushing it on the ground. He just doesn't have enough reach with the arm of the excavator. Plan B, and you can't tell, but it is a pretty drastic slope there. So he's now pulling something towards him down a hill. You know, gravity works every time. Yes, this is one of those praying times that I was talking about. Don't bump it, don't vibrate it, don't breathe. Jesse has a chain attached to the building and the excavator. Gentle, gentle. Let's try this again. And again. He just needs the edge to catch so he can flip it. It's just not catching, it's just sliding. A little worse for the wear. It got more banged up with us moving it than with the wind picking it up and moving it. Jesse now cut another section from the original barn to make a wall. Now, to try to stand it up evenly in place without moving the temporary shelter that is really not stable. And of course, there is that huge burn pile to work around. You know, problems never come up in the appropriate places. Keep in mind, the roofline of the shelter has to match the roofline of the wall. 2 days later, it was finally secured and stable and ready for the horses to use. You know, after a good snowfall. We hope you enjoyed watching how we took our destroyed horse barn and turned it into temporary shelter that's adequate for the horses. The horses were safe, the people were safe, it's all good. As always, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you the next time at Haven Acres.